Welcome back, everybody. Are we ready for some supersonic racing? Because I'm about to hand you over to HUD601 and BenInSweden. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Zelda. Welcome everyone back to BSG 04. I'm HUD601. I am joined by BenInSweden. Say hi, Ben.
Hello.
Hello. Firstly, I just want to introduce our co-commentators. We have one of the board moderators with us. I'd like to introduce Elites.
Hello.
And we also have an incredible Sonic speedrunner, someone very high up on the board. Welcome, Joey Baby 69.
Howdy.
So, before we get going, just to confirm, we did have an incentive for this run, which was to run, once again, the Metal and Funk music mod pack for this game. So, Zelda, can you just confirm, did we meet that incentive?
That incentive has indeed been met.
Wonderful. So just confirm, in my mods pack, you can see that I got it turned on. I got a couple of other little surprises in here. I got some enhanced music as well. And you may hear some slight different sound effects. Just a big shout out to RPG Hidden Wizard, who has made one of our favourite mod packs, the Colin Enhancement Pack. You're going to hear some very fun little sound effects throughout this run. But I'm just going to quickly confirm I'm all set up. Ben, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Right, let's get things underway. So, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck,
and
you guys.
there we go. Okay, so about this game, it's more or less a modification of Sonic 3. Fan-made, it's pretty... Well, it has a lot of unique features that are mostly just quality of life, but there's some that are genuinely useful. It also has a lot of things fixed, like level wraps and stuff. So I can't do that here. So the runners usually will make use of some very clever tricks to get fast time regardless. There's one in particular which skips a lot of the game, but it's going to remain a secret until it happens. And as you can see here, the runners have such things as the drop dash, the super peel out and stuff. You can also have some slightly different level layouts from the original game, which can help sometimes. Sometimes they can hinder you as well. But yeah, it depends on the runner's choice in this case as to whether you want them or not.
Yes, indeed. And one of the other quality of life changes that Leeds mentioned earlier is that for this game, you can hold down the action button to skip the time bonus. In the original game, you're supposed to just have it, let it rock. If you have a 50,000 point time bonus, you have to just wait out until it counts down gradually. But you can immediately just speed it up to just get right into the game. And I also want to make mention that both of these runners have been doing races for the past week or two, right before this race we're having here now. And they both PB'd, and they're pretty close proximity of their PBs, around a 36-minute range. So they're pretty on par of what they go for. Of course, this run is really volatile. You can just be ahead in one level, and it'll be completely changed the next. It's those kind of games that the game severely punishes you for little mistakes. It's that kind of run that is pretty difficult to optimize.
Yeah, one of the cool things you'll notice here in HUD's screen right now is that he is doing the bomber cutscene in Drawland 2. You will also notice that the cutscene is very different and also considerably faster, because that is one of the options that the game gives you. It saves about, I believe, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, approximately. So it's a good thing to do, but you have to be careful as you need to avoid the bombs.
Yeah, the development for Air definitely made effort to speed up a lot of sections of the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles that would generally be considered a very auto-scroller section of the level. A lot of places like, well, you'll see later in Sanopolis 1 and Flying Battery 2, that they'll speed up a lot of sections that you'll normally just wait a long time for the game to progress.
Yeah, you'll see here that the runners can just use tails to go to the top route of Hydro instead of going bottom route. It is a few seconds faster, so it's better to go for. Also, if you're running NG+, which the runners aren't doing right now, it leaves you with 50 rings right near the end of the level, which is a nice thing to have.
Yeah, and using Tails is normally a co-op exclusive strategy, because in the original you couldn't control Tails in any way with one controller, but holding up and jump in the air will trigger Tails' flight, which will allow you to get to places that you normally wouldn't be able to with Sonic.
Yeah. Another good thing, another interesting thing that you are going to see now is that the runners will attempt the thing that I hope would remain a secret until it's done, because it's going to be done now. It involves frame pausing and restarting the level, because, you know, this game has level an in-game menu, so you can, you know, restart from checkpoint or exit the game or restart the whole level entirely. Right here you'll see that, well, Pads has got it.
Huts got it. Oh,
It's what we call a frame perfect reset. Basically, you reset the game at a very specific frame where, at the same time, the game thinks it's Act 2, but the starting checkpoint has not been set to Act 2. So if you restart from last checkpoint, you restart at Act 1, and then you can redo the act again, and it's treated as Act 2, and it saves time. It saves time in Hydro, in Carnival Night, Sendopolis. Well, not exactly saves time, but it's more consistent and reliable. And it saves time in Death Egg, where you can do a thing which is called beating the game without actually beating the game. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so you see there, Huts just triggered the FPR, which we dubbed the frame perfect reset. But like Ali said, by pausing and resetting at the exact frame, you can just trick the game from like keeping you into Act 2 and placing you back in Act 1, but the game still thinks you're in Act 2. Huts pulling off the very first FPR, which will give him a good significant lead, as you can clearly see. The Hydro 2 FPR saves approximately 15 seconds compared to just playing Act 2 normally, which Ben has to do. So it's not the biggest time loss, but it's a good example of one of the few tricks that it's going to be can make or break this race here.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful, because if you aren't, you may actually accidentally reset back to Act 1, and then you have to do the boss again. And that's not exactly, I think, you want to do.
So looking into Hut's screen, later on to this level, he's going to trigger a glitch called the slope glitch. In certain levels, when you're standing on an object and it gets deloaded off your feet, the game gets confused and puts you in a state where you can just clip through the ground and clip through walls and just zip through the multiple parts of the stage. So having Tails break the object that Sonic is standing on, he can maneuver himself to where the Act 2 boss is in Act 1. For Marble Garden specifically, there are remnants of Act 2 still loaded into Act 1. So by maneuvering into the loopback area of Marble Garden, he can get into a position where the boss fight is loaded, and you can start the fight in Act 1 by performing a precise spin dash into a location to get the hits that he wants. And there you go, good spin dash.
Yeah, slope glitch is one of the few things that hasn't been fixed in this game, because it would involve messing with the physics, and you know, it's a more complicated thing than just fixing level reps, since level reps just involve you going so fast on the left side and you go to the right side. But yes, it's a solid thing here. We take advantage of it in a few levels, such as this. There's another opportunity to take advantage of it in Launch Base, which speeds up the level considerably.
Yeah, so it completely just takes you right into Carnival Night, despite having only been in Marble 2 for a fraction of a second. And Ben, not too far behind.
It's a cool thing, because, well, technically, you are in Act 2, but then you are at the end of Act 2, and then you're in the next zone.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty simple level. This will be our next FPR opportunity. This is a pretty important one, because Carnival 2, not only it's obviously slower than playing Carnival 1, it's a difficult stage to get correctly. If they would have to play Act 2 normally, there's a pretty difficult trick of the barrel clip. If these runners get to it, then we'll explain it, but yeah, so this boss right here takes 4 hits using the topper and hitting the boss right back. Hopefully we can set up for the next FPR.
Yeah, hopefully.
One of the few areas you can actually hydrate, so I've gone with the ARG tactic. Shout out to Argic. Got myself some Iron Brew.
Nice.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, there's both the barrel clip in Act 2 and the partner clip. If you don't get either, the level is really, really long, so you don't want to do it. Sadly, Huds didn't get it that time. So you'll see here the barrel clip. Hopefully, if he manages to get it. It's a trick that you can get to at about 20 seconds and it takes about, 30 seconds to 40 in the whole level?
Yeah, doing it glitchless definitely loses a lot of time not going for it, but the big problem with this trick is once you clip it to the wall, there is a good chance that it stops you. Oh, Hut's getting it first try. Very nice. If you get a soft lock there, you'd have to just reset, and each reset would probably loses you 20 seconds. Ben not too far behind, getting it first try as well.
Nice.
Love to see it.
Okay. You'll see that Huds has gone for a trick here called partner clip. It's also a clip within a barrel, but that's not one Ben goes for because he, I guess, isn't too used to it.
Yeah, Ben has mentioned before he definitely doesn't prefer partner clipping, or at least in that one specifically. Yeah, so the reason partner clipping works is because when you stare up into the sky with Sonic, it raises the screen upwards. When objects are off screen, they're considered deloaded. So by making Sonic look up and having Tails carry you down while the screen is panned upward, the barrel is temporarily unloaded as you're descending downwards. And as it reloads, it doesn't know where to put you, and the game just considers you through the wall, and you just clip through a good portion of the stage.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing about the coding of this game because sprite collision takes precedence over level collision, so you just go in the wall. Okay, we see now Huds is going for Ice Cap. There's this little small cutscene here that happens at the level.
Probably a good time for any potential donations, I was going to say, if Zelda wants to quickly jump in.
Oh,
we do, actually. We have €1 from Float258 saying, shoutouts to my boy Hanky for putting on such a great show. Donation, obviously, goes towards naming the character in Demon's Souls Hanky. We also have €20 from Viper with no comment, but thank you very much for your donation.
Thank you,
So
Zelda.
you see Huds here, going for another slope glitch here. Oh, getting the... Yes, what Huds has to do here is to walk on towards the right at a specific point. So the game considers you with slope glitch when the object gets ripped off your feet. It's a pretty precise trick, and it's good to have the checkpoint besides you, so if you ever reset, you're not too far off to try it again.
Yeah, however, if you don't have the checkpoint, you can try for a specific trick that saves a few seconds. Of course, here, we're in a marathon, no one's going to do that because it's safer to just get the checkpoint.
Alright, Huds getting the second try, and not too far.
This in particular is very interesting because what happens is, that wall, you land on the wall for one frame, and then the thing you're standing on breaks the wall, and since you were at the wall and it disappeared without properly loading, you just get slow glitch. It's an interesting thing to see in the game.
So the ice cap zip has many results. There's many different ways it can go wrong or go right. Ben getting hit by the penguin halfway through, which is not a bad result. He can just play out the next 15 seconds of the level and just get to the boss. It's way better than not getting a slow glitch at all, or dying, or worst case scenario, crashing, which is possible.
Yeah, because the developer of this game put a wall, quote-unquote wall, between Act 1 and Act 2. And if you go past that wall, the game just dies. No one's exactly sure as to why, but it happens.
So Ice Caps 2, very simple stage, but this stage has also a big habit of giving you bad subpixels. When you're going up a ramp to reach a top section of the level, there is a chance that the game just stops you, just completely, and you just, worst case scenario, you just have to take the bottom route, which is significantly slower.
Yeah, that's mostly due to the physics, to rolling, when you're rolling, you're having slightly different collision box, so sometimes the pixels can catch you. It can also happen when you're running normally, but that's much rarer.
It seems like Ben got slope glitch, sub-pixel, sorry, and had to use tails.
Well,
Just
no,
not-
in that case, he just accidentally jumped on the wrong ramp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As you can see here, Huds is now going to go for another slope glitch. He got
Try.
Nice. That's actually frame perfect, by the way. The reason why you need to get slope glitch there is because you can't do the conventional method for Sonic 3 because the screen is too wide. And what happened, the reason why you can get slope glitch there is because the dev, while trying to fix the player managing to get out of the elevator instantly if they get into the elevator at its lowest frame, he accidentally made it so he gets slope glitch instead, and it didn't fix the thing. It's quite interesting.
Ben not getting it first try, so
Yeah.
this is one of the very few parts of the run that could make some big changes. Hopefully Ben can get the slope glitch very soon.
It's about a time loss of 15 seconds per. However, even if you do it even if you fail it 6 times, it's still faster than doing the level normally, because you save both time in Act 1 and in Act 2, because you can attack both bosses that are in the Knuckles area as if each one were one of a separate act, as Huds did.
Yeah, the game considers if you just kill one of them, that should count as an Act 1 clear. The game's coded to just be that way if you play Sonic and Knuckles because, well, Sonic's supposed to fight only one of them. So keeping one alive for Act 2 and then killing it in Act 2 triggers the Act 2 ending, despite it, you only were in Act 2 for 2 seconds.
Yeah, as you can see here again, now in Ben's screen, as he is trying to complete Act 1 and Act 2 at the same time.
Yeah, Ben, I'm going to say second try. Oh, whoa, Hudson went the bottom
Huds got
round.
distracted. Yeah.
Quick recovery, though.
I made a mistake and forgot to go get the speed shoes.
Yeah. As you will be able to see, the ground has disappeared in Ben's screen. That's because he's playing the preview version, which is a more recent version, with a few different things that have been added. This game is still in active development, so there's various versions you can run on, and each version has its own benefit and drawback.
Yeah, very clean. And Ben just approaching right behind, still within the same act of each other. Already in the Sonic and Knuckles side. That's really good.
Yeah.
Really
if Ben does a clean mushroom hold 1 here, he can shorten that gap between him and Huds.
Yeah, Ben did get the speed shoes here, so he could save a little bit of time.
Oh
Also,
yeah,
I
he
forgot
could
to
save
mention,
about 10. He might be able to save about 10 seconds over Huds.
Also forgot to mention that for some cutscenes in the game, you can just skip it by holding a certain button.
Yeah,
it's not really shown in most of the run, but it's done.
Yeah, and keyboard it's W, in controller it's Y. It's the one button that isn't used for spin dashing or jumping.
Yeah, it's one of the other buttons. Alright, very clean mushroom tube by Huds.
Yeah, very nice. Ben saving about 15 seconds over Huds there.
Yeah, shorting the gap.
Still behind,
The Huds can get a 6-2 here. This looks like a 6. That's a 6 hitter. Nicely done.
6 hits is optimal because then you can just get 2 hits with the fire shield. And that's it.
Also forgot to briefly mention, at the end of Act 2s, or pretty much mostly every Act 2, the game automatically saves your progression as soon as all the time bonuses hit 0. So you can just reset back into the main menu and just go into the next level by file select, which is much faster than watching the whole cutscene.
Indeed. Here we'll see another trick, which is splitting inside the wall using one of those floating platform things. And we'll also see another partner clip. because this game is full of them.
Oh, watch it, Huds.
Almost resetting the entire level.
Honestly, menuing in this game alone is a strat.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to be here.
Smart. Okay, I've got the higher.
Like literal
Oh.
pixels from death, but good on
Yeah.
you.
So what happened there was Hud's got the higher up. What's the name? The higher up zip. There's two zips. There's the higher one and the lower one. The higher one loses a few seconds over the lower one, but it's still faster than just doing the conventional way.
This could give Ben a little bit more time if he can get the wall with your first try. See if you can get it. Nicely done.
Nice. Another important thing to note is that before we discovered this, that partner clips were possible since they are a trick that comes from Master Cable. It was only possible in 2-player mode. We had flying under the level as an option. Because Tails has something that is called the infinite flight glitch in versions 2004, 26, and earlier, which is if you make Tails stop flying and then make him fly again, his flight timer resets.
Ben playing it incredibly safe after the partner clip. It's really easy to accidentally slip off the meshes when you're trying to land on the platform, so he spent a good 10 seconds just making sure his chances of survival was 100%. But hey, as long as you're alive, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Now you can see that Hud's got a slow glitch yet again, because slow glitch is the thing that makes this game run. Yeah, basically because this boss was programmed well, but you have sprite swap after it dies from the boss, which is a capsule, to a normal broken capsule. If you stand on it, you can actually get slow glitch, because the sprite disappears, the other sprite appears, and yeah, that's it. You get slow glitch, and as you can see with HUDs, you can just go way over the level and run. The normal Sonic 3 and Knuckles strat is possible here. However, you have to know that the platforms down there are completely invisible.
Whoa.
So you need to do that on muscle memory.
While we're waiting for the
don't have
platform, I
enough.
was going to say, Zelda, do you want to jump in with any more donations or anything else to say?
Yeah, this takes a while.
Unfortunately, no donations right now. But I do want to remind people that we are raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. All of your donations will go to Mind. In every region of the world, mental disorders suppress 10% of the population. Governments seem to lack momentum in reducing the burden of mental health problems, as only 55% of mental health awareness and only 8% have suicide prevention plans. Organizations like Mind help raise awareness to the issue, helping us get one step closer to a world where everyone gets the help they need.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. So on to Sandopolis 1. Very cycle-heavy stage. You pretty much lose increments of 6 seconds per cycle, so being behind a cycle is a good time save or time loss, depending on who's losing what. And out of preference, this is a stage that I'm not sure if Ben will go for the FBR here, but I know Huds definitely prefers playing out Act 1 of Sandopolis, just so he doesn't do the dastardly loop clip for in Sando 2.
Oh god, I hate Sando 2.
It should be noted that Sando 2 is theoretically faster than Sando 1. However, it's really, really, really hard, so most runners prefer not to go for it.
Yeah, it requires both optimal loop clip and Tails partner clip, so just having to do all of that first try, just to save a couple seconds is a pretty hard, is asking for a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone knows me, they know my love for Sando 1. So I will always prefer to run this over Sando 2 if I can.
Playing double Sando 1.
I should have gone for that.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, there is a checkpoint just 2 feet away from that crush death, so at least the deficit of getting killed there is not as bad as you think.
It's the only reason I tried it. Just try and sneak underneath the spikes, but not quite making it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. The time loss of about 5 seconds there. Not much, by any means. considering the lead he has over Ben.
Oh, Tails falling down on Ben's end. He's going to have to go back and use the spring to jump upwards again. That could have lost potentially 2 cycles there.
Remembering, of course, that each cycle is about 6 seconds. And a loss of 6 seconds means you lose 6 seconds over the entire level. And there are some cycles that are not exactly in the same system as the global level cycle, so it can be a big problem.
Yes. No Sando 2 for me.
Ooh, no Sando 2 for us. That's good. That's good for him.
The other FPR, that's 2 for 3.
Oh.
2 for 3 is really good. That's not even getting the death egg yet.
So being completely honest, that's the one I wanted.
By the way, I should note that if you get FPR and Death Egg, that's a save of almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Because that was 1 minute 40 approximately.
Ben having a little struggle with the Sando 1 bots here. Having the hit, so one of the most recent patches for Sonic Free Air is that they sped up the boss fight, as if when you hit the boss towards the direction, it slides through the ground. It's much faster than having to wait for it to go all the way to the left on its own. So the optimal way is just to get 2 quick hits at the peak of its jump as it walks left, and just let it slide into the sand. Having a little struggle getting the hits there. Damage boosting is pretty difficult once the boss is getting into specific positions. Now we'll see if Ben will go for the FPR. He's going for it. Oh, he's hesitant. Okay, he had a pause that he might have thought it was 1 frame early and didn't want to take his chances, so he just played the level of Act 2.
Because if you go 1 frame early, you just have to redo the boss, and that boss takes a long time, so you don't want to do it.
Yeah, you have to wait out for the the whole pyramid to grow again.
Yeah.
You do not want that. So at least you can see a little bit of Sando.
Oh, okay. Has got the sub there. It's great.
Just watching the Guardian jump up and straight into the sand. Beautiful.
One thing I should note, because we're getting close to Lava Reef now, there is some trickery in Lava Reef, because of course there is some trickery in Lava Reef. What did you expect? This game is broken.
So you see,
basically there's a little trick in here that it's basically taking advantage of misplaced, well, not exactly misplaced, but more not properly placed triggers for loading and unloading things. And you can basically just cause the game to have problem loading stuff. It sounds weird, but it'll be explained in due time.
So what Ben just did there, he took a top route and Sando 2. So the game doesn't account for you to take a path like that. So Ben skipped a really crucial trigger that would normally make the boss fight function properly. As he's while he's about to go to this boss fight, the game doesn't consider the boss started yet. So you'll see Robotnik's shield just still exposed. No, not exposed at all. So he's just completely vulnerable. So you can just do multiple hits until the boss is dead.
What is happening in both scenes, in both of them? Oh no, Hud's
taking a death.
Yeah, what happened? What was supposed to be happening in this case? I guess, for both of the runners, is something that is, well, again, not going through the proper loading or deloading flags and stuff. Because on what Ben was going through, which was boss that got broken, it happened because if you go through that direction, you don't unload everything properly. So you don't unload what came before, and then the boss doesn't get loaded properly because you don't have enough memory to load it properly. So that happens. The boss just gets exposed and can hit him. Hence, the priority stuff is the boss and its hitbox. Okay, has done the thing now, which was flipping under the lava thing. Well, the lava lake. The lava lake that goes up and down. One interesting thing that can happen as a side effect of it is that you can end up warping into another game mode because of it. Because what happens is, for some reason, no one knows exactly why, depending on the lava height, if you spin dash or roll from somewhere and then land somewhere else that's lower down, you can end up getting level warp, which usually goes to competition mode in the game. It's become kind of a meme with time.
Yeah, so going through this whole level this way, it triggers Act 2 to have its left boundary just unrestricted. So after Act 1 is over, you'll see how it's just spin dash to the left because it's just a little confused, and you can touch the checkpoint at the start of Act 2, I guess, and reset the game, and you're right in the beginning of the Act 1 boss fight in Act 2. You don't even have to play Act 2 at all. And
what happens exactly is the same thing as it happened in Sendo. The game doesn't have enough memory to load everything because the lava lake is still loaded. Because normally you would go to the other side of the lava lake and then everything would be unloaded. So since you keep it loaded in memory, it'll stay there and it'll occupy a lot of space, and you don't have enough to load the other levels, so you don't load anything. It just swaps the pallets, and that's it.
And unfortunately, because of the death that Huds got just earlier, it does give Ben a good 30-second lead. A 30-second advantage, I should say. But Huds is still a good 20, 25, 30 ahead.
Yeah.
So getting to this point, while they're still neck and neck, is really impressive.
Yeah, here we see Knuckles, who is now much stronger. Seriously, if you try to beat him with the conventional method, it won't work. Because now you can only hit him straight in the head for some reason, because the developer thought it was a good idea, I don't know. But yeah, you need to hit him in a very specific place. Most runners just use the Insta Shield for it because it's it's not exactly safer, but it's the better method since you don't risk getting hit yourself.
This is probably the last big cutscene, so Zelda, if you want to come in with any more donations, if there are any, or anything else you'd like to promote?
Unfortunately, again, no donations, so please, guys, give me something to do. Get some donations in. For those of you just joining in, we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. Due to the situation surrounding COVID-19, we're currently doing our events online for the time being. This event features streamers from both the Benelux and the rest of the world, bringing you entertainment during the lockdown.
Thank you. Sky Sanctuary. So the intended way is you have 3 different boss fights, and the first 2 are reimaginings of an act of a Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 boss fight. By using Tails' flight, you can skip the triggers and just get right where Mecha Sonic is. So this is a stage that's really important to have Tails with you at all times, because he's going to be really beneficial of just maneuvering around vertically. Managing his flights, making sure he's not tired in the worst scenarios, and just keeping him on your toes, making sure he doesn't fall down when you need him.
It's another one of the perks of having Tails' flight here, along with Sonic, because you can just skip most of everything, considering it's a very vertical level.
So coming up here, Huds is gonna have one more flight here. There is a section where he can just use a teleporter to get to the top area. But using a really precise jump with the lightning shield, he can just barely get up to the top. There you go. He doesn't have to wait out the teleporter cutscene. Saves a couple of seconds. Really nice.
And he gets the jump there as well, which is very nice. Now we get to see Silver Sonic. Well, not Silver, Mecha Sonic. Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 1. Mecha Sonic He's there. He's
Very
gone.
clean.
That's it. Yeah, that was actually really good.
Tails being a little stubborn in Ben's side.
It's rare to see a Mechasonic fight like that.
Where am I going?
Yeah, the worst thing of having Tails go off route is that his respawn rate is really slow. So if he falls down, it's pretty unfortunate time loss. Coming up to Death Egg 1 on Huds' end. Will be
you will see here that the runners can take advantage of Tails' path, which is usually blocked up for Sonic, and usually also doesn't have anything at the end to help you go up. However, here it has a spring, which saves a lot of time. It saves like a minute over the other one. So it's very good to have. No one's going for a Graviton skip. Shame.
So,
I don't blame them, to be honest, it's very hard.
So despite Ben being approximately 40 seconds down, this can change immediately because we're going up to the final frame perfect reset, and this is around a minute 40-second save. If Huds doesn't get this FPR, that gives Ben a chance to just catch up immediately.
Yeah, and probably win as well.
Exactly. This skips not only the Act 2, but the final boss as well. Well, making Red Eye your final boss.
At that point, naturally.
So we have Red Eye, everyone's favorite boss fight. 8 hits on first phase, 8 hits on second.
Why did they put this in Mania? Yeah. So, after you beat Red Eye, it's the same thing as the other FPRs. However, the interesting thing is that means that you just don't do the final sequence of the game, which is the whole, the big final boss and stuff. So you don't have to worry about that. Let's see, does Huds get it?
Nope. Reset it.
No.
Oh, I haven't do Act. Oh, now Ben's in the lead now. Even slightly, around 10-second lead.
Yeah, if he gets it now, he's in the lead.
Now, all of a sudden, the tides have turned. The lead has changed just like that. It's the risk of just trying to get the right frame. If you're a frame early, then this is just the time loss that you just have to just take,
Yeah, and you have to remember that if you're a frame late, you have to do Act 2 no matter what. So.
All right, Ben killing Red Eye. Now this is his chance to do it. Ben has to play Death Egg 2 normally. That gives Huds another chance to make this back.
Yeah. If Huds gets it now, it's pretty much just done for
But if he doesn't get it, then Ben does have a sizable lead.
Yeah.
Yes! Oh, Huds got it!
Wow.
Second time. Let's go.
Nice. That's 3 out of 4. That's
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. Well, including the frame early, but did get it the second time going.
Yeah.
So this does give Huds probably a minute lead against
Very
Ben.
big lead. You have to consider that Ben still has to do the entirety of this, and then he has to do the mini boss, and then the final boss, and then the boss after the final boss, because there are 3 bosses in this for some reason.
But I gotta say, how insane is it for a race that's probably like over 30 minutes, getting like neck and neck on the final zone? That's insane.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Yeah, that's one of the things about the game. Literally, anything you do changes the game entirely.
So like we mentioned before, so the final boss is Red Eye again. So after the time bonus ends on Huds' end at the end of the second Red Eye fight, that will be GG's.
Yeah. After the timer, the time bonus goes to 0 completely. And then all he has to do to confirm it's a valid run is just go to the saves and show the completed save for this game.
Final
As you
hit.
can see, Ben is now fighting the boss commonly known as Ugo because of the sound it makes.
Okay, time coming up on my side. I'll give you a shout as soon as it happens. 3, 2, 1, time.
GG's.
GG.
There you go.
There we
See,
go.
clear file right there. Good stuff, Huds. Ben just coming into the final boss. So hey, you can see a little bit of how Death Egg 2 is supposed to be.
Yeah, and you can see, the proper game ending. As opposed to, just beating Red Eye twice.
Oh, what a sport, Huds.
Yeah.
Playing himself. Don't die, though. You have no ring.
One interesting thing about this, though, is that there's a lot of strategy to this boss because of the fingers and how they're set up. So it's a cool thing to watch regardless. Sadly, he only got the 4th cycle this time. But, it's normal. You can get up to a 2 cycle on the fingers, but it's really, really hard. Also, one cool thing is that if you hit the boss at a very specific time, that laser beam won't hit you if you're landing. Oh, no, that's nice.
You were the chosen one. Alright, Ben coming into the final phase. 8 hits as he escapes. Getting a 5-hitter there with Tails. Very nice.
Yeah. 7 hits.
7.
And
Looking like the 8 is coming.
nice.
Okay,
That's
GG's
not
when
it.
fades to white.
When the screen...
That's okay.
That's
That's
fine.
the
Nice.
consolation prize for trying.
GG.
GG, Ben.
Well done,
Good
Ben.
race,
GG. Oh,
That was a crazy race.
that was a really fun race. So yeah, Ben and I have been practicing in the background for this, doing some races against each other, and I think that's now maybe the 4th race that has been purely decided on the Death Egg FPR. And I think it's like 2-2 now for us, isn't it?
I mean,
Right.
to be
There
fair.
was not one point in the race where you guys weren't like a full zone behind. You guys were just like at least an act apart or just on the same act. Like you guys were not far from each other at all.
That was a really
and
fun
you have to
race.
consider that, Death Egg is a save of like 2 minutes, so it definitely is an important thing. Very serious deciding factor for the round.
It's really important. Okay, just closing remarks. Ben, anything you'd like to close with today?
Yes, you want
Thank you
that?
for a great race. Well deserved as well, since you got FPR 3-4 times.
3 times in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 times out of 4.
Elites, anything from
One
you?
of them was like, no, I'm good.
Joey?
This has been a great.
But yeah, like, thank you for everyone who's enjoyed the race. This was a really exciting race. Like I think Sonic 3 Air is a really amazing speed game. If you were ever interested in not just Sonic 3 Air, but just Sonic speedrunning overall, we do have a Sonic speedrunning Discord. If you were ever interested in dipping your toes into Sonic speedrunning, this is a pretty nice game to pick up. It's as long as you have the Steam version of the game, you can have this upgraded version, which has widescreen and all that good stuff, and good customizations, as you can clearly have heard from the amazing sound effects by RPG Hidden Wizard.
Yeah.
And
That's
last remarks from me. I want to say, firstly, a big thank you to Dean DiMarzio, longest solo ever. He is the one who produced the metal and funk covers that you heard into space throughout this run. I want to say a big shout out to the Sonic 3 Air speedrunning community. If you're interested in learning to speedrun this game, come join us. You'll find the link to the Discord on speedrun.com on the Sonic 3 Air boards. A big shout out to the SSC as well, the Sonic Speedrun community, a fantastic community. We have a 3D Blast tournament happening next weekend. If you're interested in watching that, make sure you come along. We also have a Sonic 3 standalone tournament coming up in around about a month's time over on Zaxxon96's channel, Zaxxon being the current world record holder of this. You may have seen him get that at GDQ. And lastly, just say, if you really enjoyed what you saw today, do drop myself a follow, huds601, drop BenInSweden a follow as well, JoeyBaby69, and Elites as well. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for commentating. Ben, thank you so much for the race. And Zelda, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Well, thank you very much. And also thank you very much for that entertaining race, and congratulations to a winner. Before we head off, I want to quickly mention that we have a €1 donation from Flowhat258 saying, here's something to read, Zelda. I just want to give a quick shout out again to all the runners for putting on an amazing show, all volunteers for helping out, and the organizers for putting on such a great event for a great cause. Good luck to the remaining few runners, and I can't wait for annual when we'll all be able to meet on site again. Speaking of that, I still have yet to experience my first on-site BSG, so maybe soon? That said, that's going to be it for me as well, but do stick around for some Cuphead action that is coming up next. Take care, everyone.